Yeah.
Oh, okay.
People in this country think all cowboys was white. That's some Hollywood John Wayne bullshit. 50% of all cowboys were black, brown, bronze, some other color.
You said 50?
Where you get them numbers from?
Look it up, real rap. Even the Lone Ranger was black.
Who's the Lone Ranger?
Get the fuck out of here.
Hi everyone, I'm Dom Griffin. I'm a film critic and you're watching the Armchair Auteur. This is an ongoing video series I do. We talk about new movies, old movies, screenplay analysis, that sort of thing. So if you like movies and film culture and not to see people pick those things apart, you should consider subscribing. Today I'm reviewing the film Concrete Cowboy, the new modern western from Netflix starring Idris Elba and Caleb McLoughlin. McLoughlin? Now, me personally, I'm not a big western guy. Like, yes, I love Tombstone to death and I've seen it many, many times.
I'm your huckleberry.
And many of my personal heroes have in fact been cowboys. But I was mainly interested in seeing this film because of the alluring imagery of the Black Cowboy. From Mario Van Peebles' Posse to Django Unchained to, yes, Old Town Road, there's just something fascinating about a black man on a horse. When I first heard Idris Elba was doing this movie for Netflix, I was quite curious, as it was one of the first bigger productions of the pandemic, and I had been interested in writer-director Jeymes Samuel's work ever since I discovered him through his collaborations with Jay Electronica. I had never seen his short film, They Die by Dawn, but the cast for this new flick seemed completely up my alley. Then I got a few minutes into Concrete Cowboy and realized that is a different movie. That's The Harder They Fall, another black cowboy movie coming from Netflix this year. Jeymes Samuel had nothing to do with this movie. It was this guy, Ricky Staub. Yes, Netflix has 2 black cowboy movies coming out this year, and yes, they both feature Idris Elba. Concrete Cowboy, unlike The Harder They Fall, is much less a modern western pastiche and more a family drama that uses the underseen world of inner-city horsemanship, a fascinating subculture few seem to be particularly aware of. The film adapts Greg Neary's novel Ghetto Cowboy, telling the story of a young man named Cole, played by Stranger Things star McLoughlin, whose mother gets fed up of him falling into bad habits after he's expelled from school. She drops him off with his estranged father Harp, played by Elba, and the two are forced to reconnect. The main thrust of the film is split between 2 primary aims. On the one hand, the movie is basically one of those Hallmark horse girl movies, but set in North Philly and with a black teenager instead of a girl with a Pinterest. Cole's story is one of a young man torn between the only life he's ever really known, following down a dangerous path with his cousin, played by Moonlight's Gerald Jerome, and this new, more rustic lifestyle his father and his friends have lived for ages. But director Staub seems to be using Cole's specific story as an excuse to explore the world of modern-day cowboys, utilizing real people from the community he found from his research of the Fletcher Street Urban Riding Club, which is a good thing, because the movie's most compelling moments are the ones principally concerned with this way of life and the people who inhabit it, even if it only begins to scrape the surface of the themes underlying the connection between black folks and being cowhands.
Cowhand became cowboy. Did you know that? That's what it called us. Hey boy, hold that cattle down while I brand it. Hey boy, go break that horse.
Breaking a horse meant crushing the will of the animal, dominating, making them believe that the only way it was going to survive was to submit, right? No. Black folks, we knew that a horse wasn't meant to be dominated. A horse was meant to be free.
The stuff with Cole adapting to stable work is interesting, but its dramatic power seriously depends on how much time you as a viewer want to devote to watching another human being literally shovel shit. But I think the decision to frame the story as a tale of fathers and sons holds it back from being something special, as the tired narrative of a man abandoning his son and then being preachy and presumptuous about said son's foibles has always been a grating one to me. This movie puts little to no pressure on Harp for not being there for his son because it would take away from getting to see Idris Elba shame his teen boy for running the streets and not breaking horses. So, a more effective drama might have better unpacked their strained relationship and its thematic implications. But given how much more the film sings when it takes the time to let us watch and listen to these experienced hands and the history of horse owning in their city, it's not hard to forgive the story's other failings. There's a particularly stirring scene where a horse escapes and the entire team has to goad Cole into finally crossing the threshold and taking control of it that feels well worth the price of admission alone. That is, if Method Man as a hunky cop didn't already have you sold. What's less forgivable is how bland the central characters are as written. There's very little gristle for Laughlin, Elba, or even Jerome to chew on. Someone like Lorraine Toussaint can make up for a flat character with sheer presence, or Method Man with his charisma, but Idris Elba in particular seems to get a lot of these undercooked roles where him just being there and being Idris Elba is supposed to be enough. And, well, we're reaching the point where it's just not. I can't help but think the part should have gone to someone like Coleman Dingo, who has been killing it on Euphoria recently, and will be in A24's new flick Zola, or hell, even Rob Morgan, who you may know as Turk from Daredevil, but who was absolutely incredible in a similar role in last year's Bull, a much more dramatically satisfying film, if I'm being honest. But at the end of the day, the movie is clearly designed to A, shine a light on this under-the-radar community, and B, scratch the itch of anyone whose heart soars seeing black folks on horseback. So for that, it gets a soft recommendation from me. It's on Netflix, you can watch it, it's available, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, I'll say that. It's not often that I get two similar movies confused in this specific way, but this is the only instance where one of those movies has then suddenly made me less interested in seeing the other movie that I was more excited to see, because if this is kind of the level of phoning it in Idris Elba is currently giving in Netflix-produced westerns, I don't really know that The Harder They Fall will fare much better than this. But I'll probably watch that too. So those are my thoughts on the film. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the little bell icon to get notifications when I put out new videos. And if you have any thoughts about Idris Elba, Cowboys, anything, you can talk about that below in the comments. I like talking to you guys quite a bit, and I hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, being good to yourselves and each other. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.